Hi mates, Outback GL1 here, and today we're gonna talk about Crocs, but not just today's salty Crocs like this fella here. We're gonna go back in time, millions of years, and look at some of the crocodiles' ancestors from the Permian period and the Cretaceous period. So sit back and get ready for an adventure when we go to Jurassic Park. Alright mates, so here we are at Jurassic Park. And the first fella we got over here is Prestosuchus. Now this fella goes way back, all the way back to the Triassic, 240 million years ago. And he could be a large fella, up to 20 feet, 23 feet even long. And you can see its skeleton at the American Natural History Museum. And I did about 15 years ago, and I was blown away by its skeleton because it looks just like a crocodile, but it's high off the ground with this more upright posture, not with its legs all sliding out to the side. And I was like, you really wouldn't be able to get away from this fella, or he could run you down. Gators themselves are quite fast in a pinch, and you probably wouldn't want to try to run away from that either. I've seen them, boy, move so quick, snapping their jaws, and it's so frightening you just might freeze. And a fella like this, boy, he'll just chase you down. Now, all the dinosaurs we're going to see today are part of the clade, which is a grouping of Archosauromorpha. So all of them are part of that, even the modern Crocs you see today. And the original dinosaurs came from Archosaurs. So that's just another grouping. These are a little bit different, but we all know crocodiles are related to dinosaurs. Now this gigantic fellow here is Sarcosuchus, and he's from the Cretaceous, so about 130 million years ago. And he could be 31 feet long and up to 8,000 pounds. Boy, this thing, you really wouldn't want to be going to get a drink of water with these jaws, snapping jaws. They'll grab you and pull you right under and start to roll you and drown you, rip off limbs and everything. As big as this fella is, 31 feet long, there's actually some larger ones. So there's some dino crocs that could be, they think, up to 40 feet long and about almost as heavy or as heavy as a T-Rex, like 15,000 pounds. So if a T-Rex were going to get a drink of water, boy, it could come right up and snap them in the head and pull them into the water. It'd be quite a battle. Not sure who would win, but of course the saltwater, these crocs, were meant to drown their prey and fight underwater. So this is a pretty good toy. This thing, when it originally came out, was about $16, and some yucca is selling it for like $100. So I hope you can find it for less if you want one of these. It's pretty neat. It's got the snout of like a gharial, which is a modern type of crocodile you can find in India. And you see that snout's there curved for grabbing fish. It probably did a lot of fish eating. It just kind of dig in there and snap it. And really big fish would stand no chance against this fella. Now this here, I thought I'd throw in just for fun. This is not part of Jurassic Park. This is part of the kaiju of the world of King Kong. This fella was in Skull Island in that King Kong movie with Jack Black. Now this fella is fictional, and he was said to be 15 to 20 feet long. But this is quite a neat toy, and I'm going to show you why. It has some special features on it. You can push this button here, right, and close its jaw a little bit, not all the way. And you look at those teeth really for grabbing. But that's not really the coolest part about this fella. So you can see his limbs are kind of loosely attached, right? So what he's got here is he's got like a crank. So you crank this, and there's like little strong ropes attached to all of its legs. And the idea is that when he'd be fighting like a King Kong or a T-Rex, they'd bite him here, and then all the strings would release and he'd go limp. and he'd be like a dead crocodile saurus. So there he is, all floppy now, right? And if you just wanted to pull him back together, you just turn this crank, it tightens him up, and then you can kind of adjust the limbs the way you want. Turn the head and turn the tail. It's got like a flexible tail. This is quite a neat toy, and there's several others that have the same feature where you push the button and they kind of flop for you. But why we're really here today is for this fella here, because this just came out, part of the epic evolution Jurassic World. Gryposuchus. He's got a wild roar, and we're going to open this up and take a look at it. Alright, so here he is out of the box, and as usual, you got to fasten the tail on. So that comes separate, and you just pop that on, and there you go. Now, he's really got a narrow snout like a gharial, so he's probably the best fish eater you can find, or one of them. I mean, look at how those teeth interlock with each other, not letting go when he gets a bite. And roll that wheel, and he's roaring at you. And you roll it again, and he turns the other way. And if you want to find out some information about him, and you got that app that sucks up a lot of memory on your phone, because the more dinosaurs you have, the more information, yeah, you just scan that app right there. All right, nice and hidden right there in his back. And you can see he's got quite a bit of detail. He's got legs that move a little bit, and his arms, and he's even got some shoulders that kind of flare out a little bit. And now this fella is actually supposed to be even bigger than Sarcosuchus. This guy could get 33 feet long, so presumably he might be heavier, but we don't know for sure. And we can compare the toys. Well, certainly this is not the larger here. This one's just maybe not full grown. But anyway, it's quite a cool toy and rather difficult to find right now. I don't know if you can find this thing in stores. I had to order this from the Amazon, and it took a couple of weeks to get it. And incidentally, that's where their skeletons were found, in the Amazon. And they go back, actually not that long ago, they go back only 5.3 million years ago in the Miocene. So this thing was actually around when there was a lot of modern animals today, and that's why it's rather closely related to the saltwater croc we have today. In fact, the saltwater croc might have been a contemporary, because the croc was also back around 5.3 million years ago. Saltwater croc can be about 21 feet long, 3,300 pounds, and maybe there's been some that have been 4,000 pounds. So these salties are quite enormous, and they're from Southeast Asia. Real dangerous. Dozens of people are attacked every year. This is a fine model. If you haven't seen this before on my G.I. Joe show I did a little while ago, you can see this is quite a great model with the interlocking teeth. It's like a Hammond collection toy. You got wrists that turn, and shoulders, and feet that turn, back, hips that move, and the tail moves all around, and it's flexible. And it's just quite a great model. But so you can compare the two together. You know, you can kind of look at their morphology and see how their back legs and their front legs are quite similar. You see that? So this fella from South America is just quite a great toy. And one more thing I wanted to show you. Now this fella here, Siamosaurus, kind of looks like one of these. I mean, he has a similar body type and head, right? He's got a head like a crocodile, but he's not related to the Crocs. This is not part of the Archosauromorpha. This is part of the Spinosaurs. So he's high off the ground, like that Prestosuchus over here. You see, he's kind of got the similar body type, just like that, and he's got a head like a croc, but he's got a spine like a Spinosaurus or a Dimetrodon, which goes all the way back to the Permian period, and I think even before. This is quite a cool toy. You push the button here, and then his mouth is open all the time, and then you push that and it closes it, and then his little code right in there on the side. So that's what's going on right now at Jurassic Park with their dinosaurs and their Archosauromorphas, and there's plenty of more dinosaurs that have come out recently, but I just wanted to get that Gryposuchus and then do a little show comparing all of them together. And you can find out more information if you want. You can go to Wikipedia or whatever and then look things up and see what kind of similarities and differences you can focus on. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll be talking to you soon. Take care, mates.